In 2022, after the better part of a decade studying Russian disinformation, I was tapped by the Biden administration to lead a coordination effort within the Department of Homeland Security called the Disinformation Governance Board. This was not a name I came up with. Bad name. And the idea was that DHS, for those of you that don't know, is kind of a Frankenstein of a government agency created after 9/11, includes everything from the folks who deal with our cybersecurity to the folks who deal with natural disasters and the border and transportation security, all of these things. Also the Coast Guard for some reason. And all of them had different portfolios that dealt with disinformation. And when the administration came in, the Undersecretary Rob Silvers kind of looked around and said, there's not a lot of policy guiding what all of these disparate parts of DHS are doing, so we need somebody to come in and herd government cats. And silly me, I had always wanted to go into public service. And when I got the call, I said, of course, like DHS is not where I had seen myself. I thought maybe I'd go into state or the NSC. But when your government calls and asks you to do something that's in your area of expertise, you say yes, right? So I started at DHS in March of 2022. And about 8 weeks later, my life blew up. Actually, the 3-year anniversary will be just in a couple days. When this effort was announced, it was done so in a very untransparent way that raised more questions than provided answers. And folks on the far right, as well as some on the far left as well, started calling the effort a ministry of truth. Now, let me be unequivocally clear. I had no power to police the internet. If that were my job, I wouldn't have taken it. I am the granddaughter of somebody who was in a Russian gulag. I have stood up for Russian dissidents and Belarusian dissidents and folks in areas where censorship is actually real. And these wild claims started going around the internet very quickly after the announcement. And what Debbie just said was so resonant for me. Bad behavior that is not punished is accepted, right? Or you said it more eloquently than that, but essentially that's what happened. DHS was like deer in headlights, thought that if they did not address the rumors, these lies, that they would just go away. Like, oh, you know, it's just the internet. It's just people like Jack Posobiec talking about it and Tucker Carlson going on a tirade about me. He called me a highly self-confident young woman, which he meant as an insult. So all of this is happening. DHS doesn't do anything. In fact, they put a communications embargo on me. Don't issue any sort of communications for 4 days, which in internet time may as well be 4 million years. And almost immediately, especially once my name and face get on Fox News, I started getting death threats. At the time, I was also extremely pregnant. I'm looking at Jake. Jake had seen me a couple days before. He was in government at the time and took me to a very lovely lunch that I waddled to. And you know, that's the most vulnerable time in a woman's life, right before she's becoming a mom. And here I was wondering if I was safe in my house because we were doxxed, we were threatened. I was on Fox News every hour on the hour. And you know, I can make light of what Tucker said, but when Tucker and Hannity and all of these people are saying things that aren't true, that you are going to be the minister of truth, and Tucker said something like, she's going to have the power to send men with guns to the homes of Americans with whom she disagrees, a complete lie. It gets really scary really quickly, and not only did DHS not respond in a communications way, but they didn't really provide much in terms of security for me. I was made to feel silly for asking if a security detail would be offered to me when, you know, again, my face was on TV, on the largest cable TV news network every hour on the hour, and I was pregnant. I was basically a sitting duck. I had a personal security consultant who told me that I shouldn't even do things like get gas or get coffee on my own. I went to my prenatal appointments, which were weekly at that point, in a mask, sunglasses, and a hat.